Welcome to this edition of Inside the Isles. My name is Aiden Northcutt with you as always. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. It was definitely a busy one here in Charlottetown and across the QMJHL with the 2020 QMJHL Draft getting underway and being completed across 2 days. A little different than in past years where it was all done in an online format. So naturally, things were a little bit different than they have been in years past, but we got through it no problem. Here in Charlottetown, we made 14 selections, and we're going to speak to each one of those selections coming up here in a little bit. I had the chance over the last few days to conduct interviews with everybody and chat to them, get to know them a little bit better, and it seems like we've got a great group of prospects. So you'll get to meet them in a little bit. But right now, we're going to meet somebody else, a new member of the Islanders that was also added at the draft. This was done by trade. The Charlottetown Islanders making a fairly major trade, moving a first-round pick, a second-round pick, and a third-round pick to acquire the player that I'm with here today. He is a goalie known across the league. He has 129 career QMJHL victories. He's a third-round pick of the St. Louis Blues. The man who's with me today is Colten Ellis. Colten, welcome to the show and welcome to Charlottetown.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Now, I heard that you found out in kind of not really a typical way. You were a little busy, a little preoccupied at the time that you found out about the trade.
Yeah, I think I was kind of following along with the draft and everything like anybody would, but the draft kind of ended, and I think it was 30 minutes afterwards. Then I got a call to give me the news, so it was kind of unexpected. I figured if something was going to happen, it happened throughout the day, so I was kind of just getting ready to go to bed, and I got the call.
All right, and so you celebrated then, like any good maritime person would do, by hitting the golf course.
Yeah, I was funny. I had a tee time the next day anyway with a couple of my buddies, so I was pretty busy on the phone the next day out there.
All right, and now did you shoot any better? Shoot any worse? Were you playing a little more motivation?
Yeah, I think I might have shot a little better now that I'm part of the Islanders organization.
Are you a good golfer?
No, not really. I'm getting better, but I just started keeping score this year, so I guess that's progress.
Okay, well, me and you will have to get off to a round here so that maybe I can make you feel good or you can make me feel good because I'm just as bad. And
Absolutely.
all right, perfect.
That's good.
Have you had a chance to talk to some of your new teammates? I know you're a Nova Scotia guy. You're from Waikagama. Have you had a chance to talk to anybody that you might have played against coming up about the island?
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty familiar with the island. My family and I used to go over for vacation when we were younger. I have some relatives over there as well. But I was talking to some guys that were on the team. A couple guys reached out to me and just said welcome to the team and everything. So it just makes getting started that more exciting.
Yeah, definitely a good group of guys here, and I'm not saying that from a completely biased standpoint, even though it might sound like it. Yeah, so let's talk about your season last year to kind of get fans a better idea of the kind of goalie that you were, and to talk about the kind of pedigree that you have as a goalie. I mentioned off the top 129 victories. You played on a very stacked Rimouski Oceanic team. The biggest name probably coming out of that would definitely be Alexis Lafreniere, the consensus #1 draft pick. But talk about the season that you had. You battled a little adversity with injury, but came through and still managed to put together a very, very solid season.
Yeah, I think right from the get-go, everybody kind of knew that we were going to have a pretty good team. And then at Christmas, we made a couple moves to make us a little stronger. And then yeah, I think we had a good season all around. I mean, it was tough. Like you said, a little bit of adversity, but you got to be prepared for when those types of things happen. But I feel like the team in Rimouski and all the staff there did a really good job helping me rehab through that and get back on track when I came back. So yeah, back to the team. I mean, we had a great lineup, and I think that we played a really good game of hockey, and it's disappointing that the year got cut short, but then again, everybody else is in the same boat as we were. So
Yeah, it's hard when you look and like I can only imagine for you guys, especially those top 4 or 5 teams, you guys, Moncton, Sherbrooke, Chicoutimi, Cape Breton, everybody who have made substantial moves to kind of to get better and make a big
Yeah.
run at it and to kind of have it come up a little bit short. Obviously, everybody's in that boat, but when you guys go so big into going hard and going big with it, I can only imagine the disappointment. Now,
Yeah, exactly.
one of the guys that I did mention, and I'm sure is a guy you get asked about a lot, is Alexis Lafreniere. This would be probably his last kick at the can for that President's Cup. What was it like to play with a guy like that? Like not just in how good he was on the ice, but how much fanfare probably followed him off the ice. Was it a little crazy to see at times?
Yeah, I think especially after World Juniors, it kind of heated up. Like, I think we played quite a few games that were sold out, if not pretty well sold out. So he definitely had a pretty big fan base out, even on the road, just looking for autographs and everything. But he's a great person. He's a great hockey player, and it's pretty interesting to play with a guy of that caliber. You just some of the things he'll do, even in practice, you're just thinking, how do you do that? And getting to watch him over the last 3 years and getting to see him progress was pretty cool to see too. How good he was, and then he just kept getting better and better. So it was pretty cool to get to experience that as well.
I feel like one of the things and that you would have like, that you would see would be with a guy like that. I mean, obviously we talk about how good he is, but like the preparation that goes into it is seeing him prepare. I'm assuming he just prepares at like another level. Does that like motivate the guys around you? It's like we can all get to this level. We can all come together and rally around this, this player and the effort that he puts in off the ice.
Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit of follow leader. He was a good leader for us this year in Rimouski. So for everybody else, just to see the way he works at his craft and how he's able to master that craft is pretty eye opening. And if other guys in the dressing room are seeing that, they're going to want to do the same thing.
Now he'll be going through the NHL draft this year in a bit of an atypical year, but that's an experience you already had last season as a third round pick, 93rd overall, the St. Louis Blues, exactly 31 picks after Nikita Alexandrov here in Charlottetown. Talk about that experience a little bit and what it was like to live that NHL draftee experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's a once in a lifetime experience. It was awesome. I had a lot of people out there with me, and it was great to get to share that moment with them. And just hearing my name called was something that I really didn't know how to react to. It was so surreal, but it's definitely a moment that I'll never forget.
And now, as you know, as a drafted player, like you go and you do the development camp, you do the rookie tournament, obviously things of that nature. Was it a good kind of eye-opening experience to share the room with other top prospects from across Canada, from across the world, really, but also share the room with big veterans? Like that was a team that had just won the Stanley Cup, so you were probably sharing a room per se with guys like Jordan Binnington, Jake Allen, Alex Petrangelo, like probably some real amazing veteran leaders in that room that could impart a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just getting on the ice with some of those guys, it's crazy to think like it's like you see guys like that coming down to shoot on you, and you're in a bit of disbelief. But to the off ice aspect of that, you just see them around the rink and how hard they work every second that they're doing anything, whether it's in the workout room or it's on the ice, and you just want to kind of take that upon yourself to just to make yourself better.
One of the guys that I know I spoke with Nikita about this. For him, that was kind of like almost had a bit of a surreal moment, was sharing a room with Vladimir Tarasenko, just a guy that he had looked up to growing up, being another Russian forward, a big name Russian forward. Did you have any moments like that, like a surreal, like oh my god, like Ryan O'Reilly shooting on me, or I'm sharing a goal crease with Jake Allen? Was there any like one of those moments for you when you were at camp?
I think there's a lot of those actually. I remember there's one practice where it was myself, Joel Hoffer, and Binnington on the ice, and that was the first time I skated with him. And it was pretty cool just seeing the way he does everything. And I was in a little bit of disbelief too. Obviously they just won the Stanley Cup, so it was a good time to be drafted there. But no, it was pretty cool just to be on the ice with guys like that and just get to see them up close and personal.
Have you had much? Have you had much interaction with Jake Allen outside the Blues organization, with him being another Maritime goaltender?
Not up until I talked to him a little bit at the Blues camp, but up until then, that was the first time that I met him.
Everything you could have dreamed of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right on. Now I gotta point something out because I don't know if anybody else is watching has noticed, but you're already wearing a little bit of local apparel with the UPEI Panthers hoodie. Are you a Panthers guy?
Yeah, I actually this year was my first year university, and that's where I was enrolled with. So it's kind of funny the way it's going to work out.
That's a little bit of a full circle moment. That's hilarious. No,
Yeah,
I actually didn't know that. That's really funny. It makes your schooling go a lot easier when you're basically moving to where you're already at school.
Yeah, exactly. Make that transition a little easier for sure.
All right, awesome. So I'm gonna ask you a couple quick questions here. Just a little bit of kind of like, I don't know what to call them, like fun questions, just with regards to fans getting to know you a little bit better, beyond the goal crease and beyond the ice. So, what is the show that you're currently binge watching?
Watch them in like a week or two because it was during when quarantine started and everything. So I watched those pretty quick. But the fourth just came out, I think, last week or the week before. So getting to that.
Were you one of the people who got hooked on to Tiger King right away, or?
Yeah, I watched that pretty quick. All my buddies were telling me to watch it, so I had to watch it.
All right, so sticking with the TV theme, what's your like guilty pleasure show? Like, what's a show you're like you don't necessarily want, like you don't go bragging about that you watch, but you love watching it?
It's a tough one. I watched a little bit of Vampire Diaries. I don't know if too many people know that. I guess they're gonna now, but I watched a little bit of that. But I'll say it was because I watched it with my sister, so we'll say that if anybody asks.
All right, we'll pretend that's the right answer. That you watched it with your sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Who's your current favorite musician?
Musician? I'm not sure. I have a pretty broad, I like a lot of different categories of music and genres and everything. But I should have rehearsed these questions.
I didn't give you much preparation, so.
Yeah, I like Kygo a lot. He just came out with a new album, and I guess that's probably what I listen to the most, kind of stuff like that.
Right on. Now, what would be like your nickname around the dressing room?
Probably just Ellie.
Okay, you might have to duke that one out with Drew Elliott. He might have something to say about that one.
Oh yeah, right.
He's either I've heard Ellie, I've heard L, I've heard L's. You just might have to talk that one out when you get in the locker room.
Yeah, we'll work something out.
All right. What would be like your pregame meal?
It was for the past 3 years. It changed every time we'd win. It would stay the same, and then every time we lost, it would switch it up. So, there was, I think it was last year, we went on like a 16-game win streak or something. And we were eating the same thing, and it was just regular spaghetti with meat sauce, and we just ate that. But we ate that for like a month or two, just straight every game day. And then, but usually it's between that and chicken Alfredo. I like a lot of chicken Alfredo or penne or something like that. So
the entire team ate the same pregame meal. It was like you weren't messing with that tradition at all.
No, this was just out of my billet.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like, we decided as a team we're all gonna have spaghetti and meat sauce before every game. Right. So what would be your go-to meal then, just like on a given day? It's Friday night. What are you grabbing?
I think pancakes. Like I eat a lot of pancakes right now. That's probably my favorite food. So, but I make them from scratch, and they're pretty good for you, so I don't feel guilty eating them.
What's your topping? Is it raspberries, strawberries, chocolate chips? Where are you going with it?
Peanut butter.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah. I know it's a little different. I think some people must use it, but I eat a lot of peanut butter, so
I'm a classic, just maple syrup. That's all I need. And then
yeah, there you go.
last one is just like a pregame ritual. What's something that you have to do? I know a lot of goalies have those superstitions. Are you one of those types of goalies?
I like to think not, but I think there are some quirks that I like being the same every game. I pretty well keep for the whole year. I've kept the same routine, like right from the time I get out of bed, or even the night before games, like until just puck drop. It's been the same thing, and even throughout the game. But nothing too weird. I like to think I'm fairly normal goalie, so I guess like it'd be before every game, it'd be pregame meal at the same time, and then a shower right after, and then go to the rink. And for the longest time, we were winning. This year, would play this me and my billet brother and one of the other guys I drove would play the same song at the exact same spot on the drive there. But that was kind of the three of our things. So
Right. Yeah, not necessarily a goalie thing. That's just like this is what we're doing.
You can't pin that one on me. So
Right on. Well, as a goalie, let's get into the meat and bones of the position a little bit. What would you say like your style of goaltender is? Like what kind of position do you play?
Yeah. I like to play an athletic style of play. Like Jonathan Quick was someone who I like to model my game after, especially from a young age, and he was someone I watched a lot. So I think just the athleticism that he has is something I admire and something that I think is a big part of my game.
Right on. Now we'll get wrapped up here. It's a big episode with a lot of we got another 14 interviews to go after this one. What message do you have for Islanders fans? To get them ready for the upcoming season.
I'm expecting a big season out of us. I'm really excited to be an Islander, and moving from one island to the other is a pretty big honor. So I just hope. I know anytime I played in Charlottetown, they always had a great fan base. So I just can't wait to be a part of everything there.
No better way to finish your junior career than doing it here in Charlottetown. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
Right on. Well, Colten, thanks very much for taking the time today. Really, wish you all the best this summer. A great summer of off-season training, and hope to see you here on the island fairly soon.
Perfect. Thank you. Sounds good.
Not a problem, Colten. Thanks. Have a great one. All right. Well, that was Colten Ellis with me here. Great, fantastic interview. Hopefully, get to see him here in the future a lot soon here on the island. Now, we're going to head into our draft interviews with our 2020 QMJHL draftees. Like I mentioned off the top, 14 fantastic individuals that I had the pleasure of interviewing, and hopefully you enjoy them as well. We're going to start with obviously the first pick of the draft, Sam Oliver, and work our way down. So basically finishing with Isaac Voss. So stick around, tune in. Hope you enjoy this one.
get ready for a lot of goals.
All right. Well, thanks very much for your time, Sam. Hope to see you soon in person and enjoy the rest of the day. Take it all in.
Alrighty, thanks a lot.
Have a good one.
You too.
In the Charlottetown Islanders war room, and I'm here with the second pick of the Islanders, 4th round, 60th overall, defenseman Gus Booth. Gus, welcome to Charlottetown.
Thanks a lot.
All right. What was your reaction to being drafted by the Islanders?
Oh, I was super excited to be drafted by the Islanders. I kind of had a doubt they were going to pick me, and eventually they picked me, and I was super excited. My whole family was there. It was a great time.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Now, how would you describe your on-ice play?
I think I'm a defensive defenseman who's trying to become more of a two-way defenseman, trying to develop my offensive game. And so I have a good skating, good first pass. I'm good at one-on-one.
Now, how familiar are you with Charlottetown? Have you been to the city before?
I've actually never been to Charlottetown. My brother did play in St. John, so I've been to the Maritimes a couple times, but I've never been to PI or Charlottetown.
That's right. You already have a family connection to the QMJHL. Why don't you explain that?
So my brother played 4 or 5 years in the Q. He played 3.5 years in Quebec and half a year in St. John, and he loved his time there.
So for those who were able to follow that and kind of had picked up on the hints, your brother was goaltender Colin Booth. Now, what final message would you have to the fans of Charlottetown?
I'm super excited to come, and I hope great things are to follow.
Awesome. I hope so as well. Thanks very much, Gus. And again, for the fans who might be following along, name is Angus, but you prefer to be called Gus.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much and welcome again.
Thank you.
All right. Overall in the 2020 QMJHL Draft, Matis Aguilar. Matis, congratulations on being drafted and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you very much.
All right, Matis. Describe your reaction to being drafted. Where were you? Were you with your parents at home, or how did that go?
Yeah, I was with my family in the living room, and that was the last pick of the round 4. And I was very excited because my goals was to be in the round 4. And
Okay.
Charlottetown is a very good organization, so I was very excited. And when I see my name, I just jump and cry and my house.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's great to hear, Matis. So describe, for those fans who wouldn't be familiar with, describe your style of play. What kind of defenseman are you?
I'm a big defenseman. I have a good stick. I win my battle. I'm very tough to be on a 1v1. My stick is very long. Everybody told me, and that's one of my my good thing. I have a good IQ. I have a great shot too, and that's what I'm. I'm this big defenseman that would do a big hit, and that's me.
That's what our Islanders fans like to hear. Big hits. They love physical play. So which current NHL player would you just compare your style to?
I like Nhl Draft. He's a
Yeah.
tall defenseman. It's a good defenseman too in the defense zone. He do his hit when it's time to do. Also, he have a good IQ. You do a good first pass. And I think that's my type of player, and I'm comparing myself to it.
All right, awesome. So how much do you know about Charlottetown? Have you ever been to the town at all? Are you looking forward to getting here?
Can you repeat, please? I don't understand.
Yeah, no worries. So how much do you know about Charlottetown? Have you ever been to PEI?
No, but my grandfather go work in this city, and he told me that was very a nice city with a good person. Also, my agent told me Charlottetown was a very good organization, mostly for defensemen. So I'm very proud to be with you.
Your agent's fairly accurate. Well, Mathis, thank you very much once again. I really appreciate you taking the time. And once again, welcome to Charlottetown. Hope to see you in person in the near future.
Yeah, thank you very much. Me too.
Awesome. 106 overall in the 2020 QMJHL Draft, goaltender Paolo Marabella. Paolo, congratulations on being drafted and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you very much. I'm super honored to be drafted by Charlottetown. It's a great goal history. I'm super excited to get started.
Yeah, it's really exciting. So what was your reaction to finding out that you were drafted by the Islanders?
I was super ecstatic. Me and my family were very happy to be drafted by a great city. It's a good opportunity for me. So we were super excited.
Awesome. Now, what do you know about Charlottetown? Have you been here before?
No, I've actually never been, but I heard it's a great city. Good food, good potatoes, lobster. So
You'll definitely have your fair share of opportunities to eat lobster when you get here. There's some everywhere you look. So describe.
super excited.
So describe your style of play as a goaltender.
I'm a very athletic goalie, good glove, good tracking. I love to play the rebounds. Be quick and be aggressive, competitive. That's how I like it. So I say that's my style.
All right. And now, what goalie would you kind of compare your style of play to, who's a goalie that you would you try to like emulate their style of play?
Well, I'd say the Sergei Bobrovsky of the Florida Panthers. I love the way how he moves. He's athletic, mobile. He has good hands. So I say try to emulate and
Perfect. Sergei Bobrovsky is obviously a fantastic role model to look up to for a goalie. Anyways, Paolo, I won't take up too much of your time. Once again, congratulations on being drafted by Charlottetown, and hope to meet you in person here in the near future.
Thank you very much, and I hope to meet you too.
All right. Have a great day. $150th overall, the second 7th-round pick in team history. Jarrett Todd from Halifax Max. Jarrett, congratulations and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thanks a lot.
What was your reaction to being drafted by Charlottetown?
Just lots of hugs with my family and lots of jumping up and down and excitement.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys just home, like patiently waiting by the phone, or how did Saturday look for you?
Yeah, my mom just had it set up on the iPad. It was just the list going down, and
Yeah.
I actually, right before my name popped up, I got a text from the scout, the Atlantic scout, and he said, "Welcome to Charlottetown." And I just jumped up and I was like, I just got drafted, and then we went crazy.
That's awesome. So I can only imagine the excitement on your guys' end. Now, for fans here in Charlottetown who wouldn't be familiar with you, describe your play on the ice.
I like to think that I'm not the biggest guy, but I'm a hard worker, and I'm a good two-way player who can provide offense and defense. And I definitely take pride in my defensive side of the game.
All right. Now, if you had could compare yourself to any like NHL player, any player that fans would be familiar with, who would it be?
I like to compare myself to Mitch Marner. He's not the biggest guy, but he's a hard worker, and he's smart. He plays smart and he plays to his strengths, and I like to think I do that too.
So you're obviously a Maritimer, so I'm sure you know lots about Charlottetown. But have you heard much about the organization? Been to town much? Are you familiar with the great picture
Yeah,
of Charlottetown?
I grew up. I had a cottage up in Charlottetown, and
Awesome.
I grew up. My summers were always down there. Cavendish Music Festival. I go every year. I love it there.
Awesome. Perfect. Well, Jarrett, we're glad to have you here in the mix in Charlottetown. And once again, welcome to the Islanders organization.
Thanks a lot.
There's Jarrett
Awesome.
Todd, 7th round pick, 150th overall at the Charlottetown Islanders of the 2020 QMJHL Draft. Charlottetown Islanders 7th round pick, Xavier Delage. Xavier, congratulations and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you.
All right. Now, what was your reaction to hearing that you were drafted by Charlottetown?
I was really excited. Like I see my name in the 7th round, and I thought I was going to be drafted a little bit later, but I was really excited. And Charlottetown is a beautiful city, so yeah.
Are you familiar with Charlottetown at all? Have you been here much, or?
No, but I've heard of the city a lot, and people said it's a real beautiful city.
Do you have any friends or anybody else that you're familiar with inside the organization, or who have been a part of the organization?
No.
No. All right. Perfect. So you're coming into this with a fresh slate. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. So where were you when you heard? Were you just watching the draft, waiting to hear? Like, who was with you when you found out the news?
I was with my friends. I
Yeah.
was with some guys who were drafted, like Jean-Antoine Beauregard and Jeremy Shaw. But I
Okay.
was with all my friends, and we were very excited to be for the draft.
That's awesome. Now, how would you describe yourself on the ice? What kind of player are you?
I'm a calm player. I love to skate with the puck. I have a great shot, great vision of the ice. I love to take my time with the puck and make a great first pass.
All right. Now, based on that, who would you say that your NHL comparison would be for fans who haven't seen you play yet?
I would say Drew Doughty, because he
Okay.
is a very good player on both sides of the ice, and he is a very good two-way defenseman.
Excellent. Well, I love to hear it. Drew Doughty's a great comparable that way. All right. Well, Xavier, thank you very much. Just so you know, you're the third Xavier we've had in the organization now in the last couple of years, so it's becoming a fairly popular name here.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks very much and welcome and congratulations once again.
Thanks, sir.
Overall, and another local product, Jonah Jelly. Jonah, congrats on being drafted to the Charlottetown Islanders.
Thank you. Means a lot.
So you've been here now in town, that you told me yesterday, for 2 years.
Yeah. We moved here about 2 years ago, and yeah, it's just awesome, being drafted by the local team. So it's great.
Awesome. And what was that reaction when you found out that you were going to be heading to Charlottetown?
Yeah, it was a great feeling. I'm super excited to be drafted by Charlottetown, and such a great organization. And me and my dad it was just me and my dad, and we were super stoked. And my mom was at the baseball field with my sister, so she was the first one I called right away.
Awesome.
So she was pretty excited as well.
I can only imagine. Now, on the ice, how would you describe your play?
Yeah, I see myself as a playmaking forward, sees the ice well, has good hockey sense, and finds that open guy, but also plays a full 200-foot game, both sides of the puck.
All right. Now, if you had to compare yourself to an NHL player or any player that our fans would be familiar with, who would that be?
Probably someone like Jonathan Tavares. He plays that full 200-foot game, but he's also a great playmaker and kind of has a little bit of a scoring touch as well.
So now, obviously, this is a question I ask every player, and I know the answer to this probably already. How familiar are you with the organization and with the PEI as a whole?
Yeah, no, it's I'm pretty familiar. I mean, I've grown up watching the Q, and I've been to a couple games since I've been on the island, and I know it's a great organization, and really excited to get started. And I know the fans are great here on the island as well. So, yeah.
All right, perfect. Well, we're happy to have you here in the organization. Once again, Jonah, thanks very much for taking the time, and congratulations and welcome to the Islanders.
Thank you.
All right, that's Jonah. Logan Costanaro. Logan, congratulations and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. Now, what was your reaction to hearing that you were drafted by the Islanders?
I was very excited, knowing that it's a great organization, and I have a couple friends that are drafted there, and I already have a friend that's on the team, Justin Gill.
I was gonna say St. Eustache Viking player. You must be familiar with Justin Gill then.
Yep.
Excellent. So have you had a chance to talk to him since you were drafted?
Yeah. He texted me on social media and told me it's far, but yeah, it's a good organization, and you'll be happy there. So.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that he's putting in the good word. So now, when you who were you with when you found out? Were you just with your parents watching the draft that go down, waiting to see your name?
Yeah, I was with my mom, dad, brother, and sister. We're just waiting, and finally my name popped out in the 9th round. I was happy, and I invited a couple friends over just to celebrate a bit.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Now, on the ice, how would you describe yourself as a player? You had quite large numbers at both the Espoir level and AAA level.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm a very fast offensive player with a good hockey IQ, and with the size I have, I think it advantages me to be a good offensive player.
Okay. Now, if you could compare yourself to an NHL player, who would it be?
Dylan Larkin. I think I pretty much resemble the same thing. Just carries the puck, cuts to the net with speed, and is good both sides of the ice too.
All right. Now, other than speaking with Justin, are you familiar with Charlottetown at all? Have you heard much about the city, the organization, anything?
My dad works Maritimes. He covers Maritimes. He's already been to Charlottetown, but I've never been. But my dad says it's a nice place to be.
Excellent.
That's the only thing I know.
Well, we're excited to get you here and teach you a little bit more about it then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Logan, thanks again for taking the time. That's Logan Costanaro, 9th round pick, 150th overall of your Charlottetown Islanders. Pick 160th overall in the 2020 QMJHL Draft, defenseman from the Mississauga Senators of the GTHL, Baron Simard. Baron, congratulations and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you very much.
All right, now, what was your reaction to being drafted? How did you find out? Were you guys watching the draft? How did that go down?
Well, I spent that day with my friends and family. It was really awesome. We were all standing together, just kind of really excited, and then when I saw my name pop up, it was just crazy. We celebrated and made some great memories.
Awesome. Now, who have you spoken to anybody from the team yet? The coaches, anybody like that?
The coaches have reached out. I talked to the GM too, and the school counselor. Yeah, great people.
Excellent. Glad to hear it. Now, describe your style of play for those who wouldn't be familiar with your work.
I would consider myself as a physical two-way defenseman. I use my size as an advantage to lay some big hits. I have a good stick, good vision, good shot, smooth skater. Yeah.
I think with the minute you said I like to lay big hits, you just appealed to just about every Islanders fan here on the island. They love physical hockey. So now, if you could compare yourself to a current NHL player, who would it be?
I would say Colten Ellis, from the St. Louis Blues. Big guy, big hits too. Good shot, good skater, very good defensively. Yeah.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Now, how much do you know about Charlottetown? Are you familiar with the area at all? Have you been here in the past?
No, I haven't, but I've only heard great things about it. So I'm just really excited to get going.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear it. Hopefully, whenever you guys get a chance to get over here for training camp, you'll learn about how incredible it is. Baron, thanks so much for taking the time. And once again, welcome to Charlottetown and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
10th round pick of the Charlottetown Islanders, 178th overall, Brandon Crowell from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. Brandon, congratulations on being drafted and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Awesome. So what was your reaction to finding out that you were selected by the Islanders?
I was thrilled. I've talked to a lot of people before the draft about Charlottetown. It's definitely a place I wanted to go, and I've heard nothing but good things, so I'm thrilled with it.
Excellent. It's great to hear. Now, being a Nova Scotia player, we've like a lot of Nova Scotia players on our team. Are you familiar with any of the guys on our team right now? Oscar Plandowski, Jacob Gooby, any of those guys?
I skate a couple times in the summer with Oscar. His mom's my skating coach, so we go a couple times, so it's good.
Excellent. Have you had a chance to talk to him since being drafted?
Yeah, he sent me a message, just congratulating me, stuff like that. So it was really nice of him.
Awesome. So now you played last season with the Mount St. Charles in the U.S. prep school. Had a great season statistically. How would you describe yourself as a player on the ice?
Definitely a two-way. I think I care a lot about my game in the defensive zone, but also I can produce offensively as well. So definitely a two-way player who's very coachable, and you can be put in a lot of positions. So definitely like that.
Awesome. And now if you could compare yourself to an NHL player, who would it be?
Maybe someone like Patrice Bergeron. Someone like that who's good plus minus, put some points up too. So
excellent.
Definitely.
Excellent. So now being a maritime guy, how much do you know about the city of Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island as a whole? Have you come here often or?
I go to Charlottetown sometimes in the summers. It's a beautiful place to visit, Cavendish and stuff. So I've heard nothing but good things about Charlottetown. Fun city to play in. So definitely something to be excited about.
Excellent. Well, we're excited to have you here, Brandon. Congratulations once again, and hope to see you in the near future.
Thank you very much.
$196th overall, William Blackburn. Will, congratulations on being drafted and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thank you very much. It's a huge honor.
All right, what was your reaction to hearing that you were drafted by the Islanders?
Honestly, I was a bit surprised. I wasn't really following the draft, and it was kind of late round, so I wasn't really expecting anything like that. But then I'm happy to be a part of the Charlottetown Islanders.
Awesome. Have you had a chance to talk to anybody? Do you have any friends who have either played here or are playing here that you've had a chance to talk to since being drafted?
No, but one of my teammates in the past, Angus Booth, was also drafted there. So
oh yeah,
with him.
Perfect. That's great. So describe yourself as how you play on the ice. Describe your style of play.
I'd say I'm a strong two-way forward. I can play on the offensive zone, help the team out with some goals, and I can also help back in our zone, help block shots, move the puck out, and really help our Ds and goalies. And I think I'm a good skater, so I use my speed to my advantage to either get around Ds or get into open space for a nice, easy goal.
All right. Now, if you could compare yourself to an NHL player, who would it be?
Either Jonathan Toews or Patrice Bergeron, one of those two-way centers.
Gotcha. Those are both fantastic comparisons. So now, do you know much about Charlottetown as a city, as a province? Have you heard much about it or been here at all?
No, never been.
Well, we'll have to make sure that happens and get you here fairly soon.
Definitely.
All right. Well, Will, thanks so much again. That's William Blackburn, 11th round pick of the Charlottetown Islanders. You're watching Inside the Isles on Facebook Live. And it wouldn't be a QMJHL draft if the Charlottetown Islanders didn't select the Halifax Max goaltender. This is that Halifax Max goaltender this year, Sebastian Lever. Congratulations on being selected by the Islanders.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great place to go.
Awesome. So I'm assuming then, being a Halifax Max netminder, being someone from that program that consistently pumps out these goaltenders that come over to Charlottetown, you've probably heard lots about the Islanders organization, have you?
Oh yeah, lots of great things. I mean, hearing from Gooby a little bit, and obviously from Welsh, being there for 5 years, it's pretty exciting. obviously to be part of that organization.
All right. Now, what was your reaction when you heard that it was Charlottetown that had selected you?
Well, I was watching on my screen that was a little bit delayed, so my family actually got to see it first. And then all I heard was everyone cheering, and I realized Charlottetown was up next, and I realized I got picked by them. It was just kind of shock and awe at the same time. I didn't really expect it, and it just happened, and it was a great feeling.
So, have you had a chance to talk to Jacob Gooby or Matt Welsh or anybody else you might know from the program, Dakota Long-Cornish, since you've been selected?
I haven't talked to them yet, but I have Oscar Plandowski, another guy down from the Halifax area. He congratulated me on the draft, of course, and it was nice to hear from him. Really excited to be a part of them and see what happens during the summer.
So he filled you in on everything that you need to know about being an Islander?
Not quite yet, but hopefully I'll hear more from them during the summer.
Excellent. So now, how would you describe your style of play on the ice?
I think I'm a pretty big goaltender that just plays smart. I don't rush around the crease. I just smart, strong movements and keep the puck out of the net.
That's the most important thing. Now,
Yeah.
if there was an NHL goalie you can compare yourself to, who would it be?
I'd say I'm a Devin Dubnyk, Carey Price type guy that's just big and just kind of controls the play, is calm in the net, just kind of is there, is a big presence, and you just know it's going to be hard to get the puck by them.
All right, perfect. That's all great news, Sebastian. Is it Sebastian or Seb that you prefer?
I prefer Seb personally.
All right, perfect, Seb. Well, I'll try and remember that. Congratulations again on being drafted to the Charlottetown Islanders, and hope to meet up with you soon.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a great.
.232nd overall. Another local product here, Landon McDonald. Landon, congratulations. Welcome to the Islanders.
Thank you. It's an honor to be selected.
That's awesome. Now, what was your reaction to finding out that you were selected by the Islanders?
When it was getting down to the final rounds, I got a bit nervous there, hoping to see my name selected. But when I see my name pop up for my hometown team, it was pretty exciting.
So where were you? Were you just home watching the draft unfold and
home watching? Yeah, we had a home watch it. My parents were over and my grandmother was there, and we were all sitting around there watching it. Got it up on our TV, just kind of checking it out, seeing my friends get drafted, and just hopefully eventually seeing my name when it popped up. We were all pretty excited.
So now when you look at your offensive numbers, you had fairly strong offensive numbers playing with the Knights this year. How would you characterize yourself on the ice by your on-ice play?
My coach, I was pretty lucky to be on the power play. So I got a lot of opportunities to provide offensively for my team. So it just kind of came with the opportunity, and I just made the most of it, I guess.
Right on. And if you could compare yourself to any NHL player in terms of your style of play, what player would that be?
Maybe like an Alex Pietrangelo. He's looks up to a leader on his team, but he's been around for a while and knows his role and sticks to it and does it pretty well.
All right. Now, as a local product, I have to ask the question: How long have you been following the Islanders and maybe even the PEI Rocket?
Well, my cousin who used to play for the PEI Rocket, Connor McDonald. So we followed him then, and then guys like Daniel Sprong and like P.O. Joseph watching when they were around. So I've been following them and went to a few local games, and it's pretty cool to get drafted by them.
So obviously then when I ask who your favorite player in history was, you're kind of biased in that you have to say it was Connor McDonald.
Yeah, my cousin, yeah.
Right on. Well, oh my God, I almost called you Connor there. Landon, thanks very much for taking the time, and congratulations again, and hope to see you here soon and meet you in person.
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Selection 250th overall, local product, Isaac Voss. Isaac, congratulations and welcome to the Charlottetown Islanders.
Thank you so much.
All right. Now, what was your reaction to hearing that you were drafted by the Islanders?
It was a good feeling, you know, being a local guy going to a hometown team. It was great.
Now, were you just home, basically waiting by the phone, watching the draft
Yeah,
unfold?
I was sitting at home on the couch watching the draft with my family, and then waiting for my name to come by. And as soon as I seen it, it was great.
Awesome. Now, what play? Like, how would you describe yourself on the ice? What kind of defenseman are you?
I'd like to think I'm an offensive defenseman. I feel like I have good skating ability and good vision. I feel like I can also be trusted in a lot of defensive situations as well. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, to compare yourself to an NHL player, to a player that fans might be more familiar with, what NHL player style would you like to think you emulate?
I'd like to compare myself to Jordan Spence.
Oh, there's a name that people will love. I like the local flair on that as well. All right, perfect. Now, I asked everybody this question, but I know the answer to this already. How familiar are you with the organization?
I'm pretty familiar as you'd think. I mean, I grew up around it my whole life. Seeing lots of hometown people go into the organization. So yeah, it's awesome.
So, who would be your favorite Islander or PEI Rocket player over the years?
I liked P.O. Joseph Alas.
Yeah.
I really like Lucas Cormier too. He's probably one of my favorites as well.
That's awesome, man. Well, won't hold you up any longer, Isaac. Welcome again to the Charlottetown Islanders organization, and hope to see you in person sometime soon.
Thanks a lot.
All right, that was all of our draft interviews for that one. I had a bit of a bogey off the top there with the sound cutting out and a little bit of technical difficulties in Sam Oliver's interview. I'm going to re-air that now that I got those technical difficulties figured out. Thanks again for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a fantastic day, and hope to see you guys soon in the next episode. It's Aiden Northcott here alongside the newest member of the Charlottetown Islanders, forward Sam Oliver. Sam, congratulations on being drafted to the Islanders and welcome to Charlottetown.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
All right, so first question right off is how does it feel to be drafted to the Islanders?
I mean, it's a bit hard to describe. Since I was a little kid, the Q was always something that I wanted to play, and being drafted by the Islanders is something that I can't wait to get started.
All right, so now just describe yourself as a player.
I'd say I'm a 200-foot player that's really effective in the offensive zone. Generates a lot of offense. Has a really high hockey IQ, but at the same time takes care of the D zone.
All right, that's awesome. That's awesome. Now, last question is, what message did you have to the Islanders fans about yourself as a player?
Well, I mean, I really can't wait to get started, and as soon as the season starts up, I mean, the team's going to be really, really good this year, and I think that everybody should come out to watch the team play and just get ready for a lot of goals.
All right. Well, thanks very much for your time, Sam. Hope